What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day today. Um, this episode wasn't too bad today. Not an entirely bad episode. Well, it looks like Sam has a decision to make. The thing about Sam is she says that she loves Drew, she's happy with Drew, she wants to stay with Drew, but yeah, you're not legally married to Drew. So if she's serious about her relationship with Drew, here's a simple it's one little simple thing that she has to do. One, you have to file a divorce from Jason. Two, you have to remarry Drew. So if she's serious about staying with Drew, you have to do those two things. And that will prove that you were serious about your relationship with Drew. Um I mean, I don't really have a winner in this race for me personally. Like I said, it's her choice, whatever she wants to do. I'm not mad with it. You know, if she chooses to divorce Jason and marry Drew again, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? That's your choice. Congratulations. If she chooses to stay with Jason and stay married, congratulations. You know what I mean? Either way, I mean, that's your choice. It's just, do you want this new life that you and Drew built together to stay, to maintain, or you want to go back to the old life with Jason? Like that's pretty much what she needs to decide at this point, because now she really does have to make a choice. Like you really have some thinking to do. But she wouldn't really have to make a choice in my opinion, because if she's serious about everything that she said, then she already made her choice. If she's serious about everything she said about Drew, if she's serious about it, then she would easily file for divorce and remarry Drew. It wouldn't even be a problem. Wouldn't be an issue. But I have a feeling that there's definitely going to be some issues coming up with this whole her still being married to Drew situation. I mean, her still being married to Jason is definitely going to cause some drama. Um, Now it's just a waiting game to see which way she gonna go. Um, but I did like her scenes with Jason though, where he was just filling her in on the whole phase on stuff, and she always felt like he was still alive. I liked their scenes together. Moving on from that, so it looks like the writers are bringing back a storyline that was dropped a couple years ago. The mayoral vote, the mayor's race, when Lomax was going up against Felicia, um, and Nicholas rigged he rigged the election. So now they're bringing that back up. I didn't think the writers would ever bring that back into play. I didn't think they would. I thought it was a dropped storyline. I thought it was done. That's what I initially thought. So I'm kind of surprised that they're even bringing that up again. That really was a shock to me when I heard that they were bringing that back. I was like, why? I mean, unless they're planning on, I mean, I know Lulu needs a big story, and obviously the Manlanders who outed Manlanders clearly was not a big story for her or Peter August. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Peter August didn't care about that. Who would? Nell ain't really nobody in that town, so who would really care? But this mayoral race thing, I think a lot of people would care, even though it was a couple years ago. But the only reason I could see them doing this, really, are you gonna make Felicia the new mayor? That's my question. That's the only thing I really care about. Is if you're gonna bring back this storyline, that's like literally the only thing I care about. Is Felicia gonna be the new mayor? That's if she's not gonna be the new mayor, now I seriously don't care about the storyline. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about the storyline if Felicia's not gonna, if they're not gonna redo it and make her the mayor. I don't see the purpose of this storyline. I'm happy that Lulu's getting a storyline that doesn't involve babies, but this particular storyline, I don't care if you're not gonna right the wrong of Felicia not, becoming a new mayor. I'm just saying. That's just me personally. That's how I feel about it. I actually like the fact that Nina and Lulu have been somewhat coexisting lately. I actually like it because it's about time because I'm getting bored with the back and forth banter between the two of them over Charlotte and Valentine. It's getting annoying. So, for the child's sake, y'all need to get along. That simple. Um, and the whole time that they were arguing a little bit about the whole who was behind the tampering of the ballots and stuff, I was like, do not say Valentine had anything to do with this because we all know he didn't. He wasn't even in town at the time. He didn't come to town until last year. So he had nothing to do with it. Um, so Nina basically, I had to agree with Nina today, and usually I don't agree with Nina often, or if at all. But I had to agree with her today. Is Lulu sure she want to run this story? Because if you run this story, it's gonna expose Nicholas, even though he's supposedly dead. It's gonna expose him. Um, it's definitely gonna expose him. So I don't know. I mean, do you sure you want to run this story? Because it's kind of like you're going to be dragging his name through the mud if you run this story. So might want to think on it. And you know how Laura going to feel about it. So, I like that Lulu is being a bit cautious about doing this story because she has to worry about dragging her brother name through the mud. She got to worry about how her mother going to feel. It's a lot to take into consideration. But she has to understand something too. See, this is what I do like about this storyline about her becoming an investigative journalist because it puts her in a position where she may have to run a story that can do some damage to either all of her family or a particular family member. So I like this story for her. I like it because it's putting her in that position where do I sit on this story and ruin my potential career, or do I run this story and potentially ruin my relationship with my family? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a pretty dope thing. I like this storyline of her becoming an investigative journalist. I like it. Um, but she has to understand something too. If you're gonna be an investigative journalist, sometimes you have to, if you really want this career, you have to run the story that just may involve a family or friend. You know what I mean? Dragging them through the mud sometimes. Sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta, do what you gotta do. If you really want this career, then you better give Peter August something big and get it now. Because this is a story that none of other journalists are even covering. So this is like a leg up for her. So if I was her, I would just say the hell with it and run the story. I'm just saying, run the story. You know, Lou, Laura and Kevin. I had a feeling that they would get married before 2018. I had a feeling because when you're at the age that they're at, it's like, and they've been married a couple times. I'm not saying that they're old or nothing like that, but they are both in their 50s. So it's like, they've been married a few times and stuff like that. So Laura really don't want no big over the top wedding. Um, which is understandable. She's had that before, so it's like she doesn't need it again. She's ready to elope because they were looking at the dates and stuff for 2018, and she was like they're pretty much booked solid throughout 2018. So they came up with the idea to just get married on Christmas Day, which I think is nice. I think that's a nice day. And Kevin can never forget his wedding anniversary because you did marry her on Christmas, so you can never forget your wedding anniversary because you know how us men, when we get married, when men get married, we don't be remembering wedding anniversaries and stuff. Not every guy do, they got to think on it. But at least when you get, that's why a lot of dudes are slick nowadays. They get married on the 4th of July, they get married on Valentine's Day, some major holiday, so that way they could remember the wedding date. You get married on Christmas, how could you possibly forget? But it's kind of messed up because then again, if you get married on Christmas and your anniversary is on Christmas, that's like double the present. So, that's gonna hurt your pocket, but at least you ain't gonna get smacked upside your head for forgetting the day that you married the girl. You know what I mean? Why not? Um. So anyway, I like the wedding idea of them getting married on Christmas Day. I like it. I like them as a couple. I swear I freaking love Laura and Kevin as a couple. It's no games. It's mature. They know what they want. They go get it. I like it. So anyway, Kim went to go see Monica or whatever because Monica, I guess, called her over to the mansion. And the conversation was going pleasant at first until Monica basically accused Kim of being a gold digger. But see, here's my problem with that though. I don't think Kim is a gold digger. I like Kim, but I feel like she's not telling all the truths. I don't think she's being 100% honest. She's probably at this point being maybe 50% honest, maybe. Um, but it's something about her I just don't trust. I like her as a character so far, but I don't trust her because every time somebody new come to the show, they got a hidden agenda. But I don't think it's money. I really don't. I don't think she's a gold digger because number one, she's a OBGYN. I don't know her financial situation because some people could be in debt or whatever, student loans, so you never really know. But OBGYNs do get good money. She's making at least a couple, maybe a few $100,000 a year. So I'm pretty sure she's good financially. And number one, number two, she lives in Port Charles. She lives in New York. New York is expensive. I don't care what part of New York you live in, it's expensive. I've been in New York. I've never lived in New York, but whenever I do go to New York and stuff like that, and I've seen apartments in New York that are dumps, like literally dumps in bad neighborhoods, and the rent is still like $1,000 to $2,000 a month. That is expensive. So the apartment that she live in with Oscar, that apartment alone looked like it would cost you between $5,000 and $10,000 a month in rent, at least. So I doubt she's a gold digger. I highly doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. Um, but Monica was just trying to fill her out. See what this girl was about or whatever. And of course, Kim felt offended by her basically accusing her of being a gold digger, seeing as how she raised her son by herself for 14 years and financially supported him and became a doctor all while, raising a child by herself. So that's a huge accomplishment. She raised this boy for 14 years by herself and became a doctor. That's huge. That's a major accomplishment. Um, so she just at that point she was kind of sick of Monica. At that point she was like, well, I don't want nothing to do with your money, I don't want nothing to do with you. And she was like, her son's not going to have nothing to do with her. But Monica did apologize, because usually Monica's the more receptive Quartermain. Tracy is usually the Quartermain that's accusing people of being gold diggers. That's usually Tracy's thing, but since Tracy ain't around, Monica has to fill that void. um so Monica just wanted to know about Drew, where he grew up. Apparently, Drew grew up in an orphanage. Then he became a Navy SEAL later in life, and she was just giving him a little, giving Monica a little background or whatever. But Monica did tell her, if Oscar ever wants to get to know the Quartermains or whatever, the mansion is always open to him. He can come by whenever he want. Just he'll be welcome with open arms. You know, I like the fact that Monica is so welcoming to the Quartermains, long lost Quartermains and stuff, and that is her new grandchild. I don't like, even though that's not biologically her grandchild, technically it's her step grandchild, but I don't like to use that term because that's still her grandchild. You know what I'm saying? Step doesn't even matter. Blood doesn't matter. She still loves him the same way. She's gonna love Oscar the same way she loved Danny and Scout, and they're not even her blood grandchildren either, but she still sees them as her grandkids. Michael is, I think, technically her only biological grandchild, but the others, she doesn't treat them any different than she do Michael. And I love that about Monica. She doesn't treat any of her kids, any of her grandkids, any different than she treat them. Sky, she's tolerant of Sky. Monica never really liked Sky, but she's tolerant of her. Like, she's always been tolerant of Sky. Out of all her step kids, she's been tolerant of Sky. She never really liked her, but she tolerates her to an extent. Um, so yeah, it was a cool scene between her and Kim. Um, I feel bad for Oscar in a way because Oscar, I feel like this is all new for him. It's new for Drew. Drew came over trying to get to know Oscar and stuff like that. Oscar was receptive, but it's obvious that he doesn't know how to feel about it. I think he's waited so many years, like he's always wanted to know who his dad was. And now that he know, it's like he feels like, okay, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? So he's a little on the fence about what to do. He's kind of awkward in that way. Um, I can understand that. I get it. He doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know what to say with Drew. He doesn't know how to feel. He's still figuring things out. And I think it's going to take a little time. I felt bad because he said that, at this stage in his life, he felt like he doesn't need a dad. And I feel like that's not true because the difference, like even with Sonny and Dante, there was a difference there because Dante was a grown man when Sonny found out he was his son. Dante's already a man. You know what I'm saying? But it took a while for them to get to that relationship that they have now. But it's better for Oscar and Drew because Oscar, yeah, he's older, but he's not a grown man. He's a teenage boy. He's 14. So there's still things that Drew can teach him about being a man because he's not at that point yet. So Drew can still teach him how to do that. And I think eventually they'll find some common ground. They'll, figure out how to connect with each other. This is just the awkward stage at this point. This is the beginning stages. So I can't wait to see where it goes next between the two of them. You know. Um I like Cassandra. I really do. But I like I said before, man, she gives me that Helena vibe. Like she's like a younger Helena, like she really is. Um but I feel like she's gonna be a problem when this whole drug thing goes into production. I feel like Cassandra is going to be a problem. I feel like Valentine and everybody's kind of underestimating her. They think that they got her right now because they think that they're fooling her. I feel like she's about to cause some trouble any minute now. As soon as this thing hits the road, I feel like she's going to start causing some trouble. And I like the fact that they're underestimating her because that's how I feel. I feel like they're definitely underestimating her. Valentine thinks that, he got her, he's gonna, turn her into the feds. It ain't gonna be that easy. Because Cassandra, she strikes me as a type of a logical type thinker. She plays dumb sometime when it comes to things. But like I said, you don't get this far in a criminal enterprise being stupid. And stupid she is not. So they think that they're playing her. But in the end, I have a feeling stuff is about to hit the fan. I have that feeling. Cassandra's a sneaky one. Um, Nina needs to chill out when it comes down to Valentine and Cassandra. Like this whole jealousy thing because she smelled her perfume on Valentine. Like he not sleeping with that woman, not anymore. That was years ago. But he's not currently messing with her. And it was so funny because Nina mentioned the name of the perfume. She said enchantment or something like that. She said enchantment or enchantment is what she said the name of the perfume was, correct? For all my children fans out there, you would know, I think it was Erica Kane who ran a company called Enchantment Cosmetics. It was before Fusion. Before Kendall and Greenlee created Fusion, it was Enchantment. And I think Chandler Enterprises, Adam Chandler bought the company. If I remember correctly, I believe Erica Kane used to own Enchantment Cosmetics. So it was like it stuck out to me when she said that name. As soon as she said that name, I thought All My Children. I said because there was a cosmetic company called Enchantment. I said, wow. I wonder if that was like a little head nod to All My Children. I wonder when they said that. That has Chris Van Eaton's handprints all over it. For those that don't know Chris Van Eaton, he is the new co-head writer of General Hospital, and he said, he grew up on, GH and All My Children and stuff like that. So I wonder if that was a head nod from him to, AMC. I wonder. Hmm, interesting. Actually, I recently, if you want to go read an interview that he did with Michael Fearman Soaps, it's on Michael Fearman's website, michaelfearmansoaps.com. The interview that Chris Van Eaton did was very insightful, very insightful. I like the new direction that he wants to take the show in. I enjoyed the interview. I think it was a good interview. And you could tell that he loves GH and, because he was like, GH was like the first soap that he really got into, and he loves the veterans and stuff like that. It was a pretty good read. I enjoyed the interview. But anyway, Anna and Finn. I'm not surprised that Anna and Finn are kissing and stuff like that. You could see the sexual tension between the two of them. Like it was obvious that eventually they were gonna hook up. I knew that's where the writers were gonna go with it at some point. Um, I don't know how I feel about Finn and Anna at this point being a couple. They kind of got the look, like the two of them kind of look good together and stuff like that. I just need to, the chemistry. I feel personally the chemistry is there. Um, because they got this playful banter about them where Finn just loves driving her crazy as far as this Cassandra storyline. So I enjoy seeing them together. They look like they could be a good fit. But I had a feeling that Finn was not gonna drop this case. Him being a part of the whole plot to take down Cassandra. I knew he was gonna take Cassandra up on the offer to you know create her new drug or whatever. I knew he would. But I'm interested in seeing where this all goes. Like this looks very interesting. So I can't wait to see where this drug thing goes, where Anna and Finn go. It looked like it could be promising. So I can't wait to see. But anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what you thought about today's episode. See you later. Peace.